Good morning, this is Steve Wolbach, your friendly public adjuster. I wanted to talk a little bit about the declaration page today. I actually have one example here. This is of a client of mine that we are working actually on right now to try to help them with the situation. And what I wanted to talk about, the importance of you looking at your declaration page and some of the information that's found on there. And in all fairness to the insurance companies, and I know some people feel like I might come on kind of strong with that, but I try to be as objective. The bottom line is I want to be fair, and what my job is to help the homeowner when they've had damage to make sure that they get paid as fairly and as completely as possible. That's what we do. So we try to do our best every single time. But I want to point out, on these pages, now can you see up here, it says questions about your policy, okay, and there's a phone number. Now there's 3 pages to this declaration page, and then you see this is the second page. Up here again, questions. I'm not going to give you the third but the point is the insurance companies put this information and they tell you, look, if you have any questions about what the coverage is, please give us a call and let's talk about it. So they're offering to you to discuss what your coverage is. You guys tend not to look at this, and I understand. I was like this prior to getting into the industry. I never really paid much attention to these pages here. You know, I have insurance. That's all I know. They pay it once a year, the mortgage company. Every month I have 1/12 of what that premium is that's taken out and as part of my mortgage payment. But you know, there it is. Now, what am I trying to say? 9 times out of 10, I would rather be the one you would call to explain to you what this coverage is, but there are certain codes that are used. An example of that is, can you see at the bottom here, we have some code numbers here. See that? Okay, well, sometimes I can decipher them and sometimes I can't. That they're held like a secret that the insurance companies identify internally. There's where you need to reach out to them, and as I say, there are times I can't identify all the different codes and things. So, you know, but for the majority of instances, I would prefer you were to call me to go over all these things so I can give you the straight scoop on this. As I say, there are some times where the insurance companies would be the one that can actually give you that final thing. But there it is. I mean, so now this is what's known as the declaration page. In this policy, there's 3 pages to the declaration page, and this comes to you every year, close to your anniversary date. And what's the anniversary date? Well, the anniversary date, I'm glad you asked that, Kevin, is when from year to year is your starting and ending point for that year. And then the following year will be from here to here, which is always the same. It's just that the year changes. So in this situation, let's get that page. Their policy starts on, what is that, 3/11/2017, right? And you see up here, it goes to 3/11/2018. Now, right now, we are 7/6/18. So this specific policy that I'm holding right now has expired, hasn't it? Right? It was good until March 11th. So what does that mean? Well, that just means that I have an outdated copy. I've had this for a while, but I haven't had it since it expired. It was already expired when it was given to me. But I pulled this out just to try to give you some information and to show I like the way it's laid out. Different policies are laid out differently, though. But as you'll see, what's on a declaration page, there would be the address of the homeowner. Somewhere on here would be the mortgage company. In this case, there is no mortgage listed, so no company listed, so there is no mortgage on here. These are the values of what your coverage are for the different parts of the policy. And these are some of the things where, you know, good driving credit, some of the things they give you to help to adjust the premium. So when we move from that page, we go to this one. This is what's known as Section 2. We don't get involved with Section 2 at all. That's more liability issues. Now, I want to say something. You see these deductibles right here? Your standard deductible is $1,500. Wind and hail is $1,500. Hurricane, you see what that says? That's $12,100. That's 5%. I've said in my past videos that I've never seen where they're all lumped together. So I'm eating crow right now, and it does not taste very good. Apparently the policies I've been coming up against haven't had that, but here's one that clearly has them all lumped together, and that makes it so much easier for the homeowner to be able to identify just what their different deductibles are. So if you can see that, right, the point behind that is that it's a big difference, $12,100 versus $1,500. So in the event you have a hurricane, that's the type of deductible you're going to have to satisfy before insurance company pays over that. So just coming to the end here, there's some other information, and at the bottom this is forms and endorsements. Now this is very important to look at too. Again, these numbers, I know what these mean. If I won, we'd have to try to look into some other things, or maybe get the homeowner to call the insurance company. But there's a lot of information that's passed on this declaration page, or pages, and it's important for you guys to look at that. That's why we, as public adjusters, and I'll offer myself services, I would be happy to come out and talk to you about your policy. I'm not selling anything, remember, that's the other guys. But I would explain to you what your coverage is, the level of coverage that you have, and is there something that perhaps you should be making a little tweak or a little modification to. What we want to do is to have a policy that's going to completely cover you in the event something happens down the road, that when you call me and I come in and I take a look at the damage, I know your policy is going to cover it. Now we're able to go to a negotiating process of getting as much as possible for you to recover from the loss you've suffered with the insurance company. So I hope that made some sense to you guys. The point being of this little information is look at your policies. After you've looked at your policies and there are some questions you have, give me a call. Let me come out and take a look at things. We'll go over it all, and we'll give you some peace of mind, or we'll show you where maybe you need to make a few changes. Guys, thank you for listening. If you liked what I said, would you give me one of these? If you didn't like it, give me one of those. Would you please share this? And of course, would you please subscribe to my page? I appreciate that very much. I'm looking for your support. I want to continue to put good information out to help you, the homeowner, to make sure that you are adequately and properly protected. Thank you very much. This is Steve Wolbach, your friendly public adjuster. God bless you.